With the state of AI being what it is today, we find that we can use it to do a host of things. As this is the case, you might as well use it to make your presentations better than they ever were. Want to make professional PowerPoint presentations with all the neat designs and animations? Well, sit back for a few and watch this video. One way to use AI to make PowerPoint presentations is to make use of what is known as Visual Basic for Applications, also known as VBA. This is a powerful programming language that gives the user the ability to automate tasks in Microsoft Office applications such as PowerPoint. In order to use VBA to create your presentation, the first thing that you would need to do is to open Chat GPT. There you type a prompt asking for the content of your presentation with the use of VBA codes. For example, you can go, "Write me VBA PowerPoint codes on holidaying in Mauritius. Use 8 slides." Boom! Within seconds, ChatGPT will generate the VBA codes for you to use. Once you are done, copy the codes. Mind you, we must state that you must not copy any codes from the internet without copying the source. Unless OpenAI has been caught doing some dodgy things recently, we can do that, can't we? With that in mind, the next thing for us to do is to open PowerPoint. Once it is open, head over to the File tab so that you can click on the Customize Ribbon button. Once this is done, head over to Main tabs. On the right, click on the Customize Ribbons option so that it can open up the page that will allow you to scroll down to the Developer option. Click OK so that you can add it to your tab. Once this is done, click on the Developer tab, which will then allow you to select Visual Basic. Once this is done, open Insert User Form drop-down, then click on the Module button. Paste the code you copied from ChatGPT onto this page so that you can run the code, and voila! Here are your 8 slides with all the content it created for you on ChatGPT. That said, the presentation is admittedly basic. Why don't we switch this up a little? To add some beauty and context to the presentation, let's start off by clicking on the Designer tab. There, we can make use of the AI assistant that can help us beautify our presentation. We must note that whatever you put on the slide is going to determine the results produced by the Designer tab. That way, you can have the most suitable slides, text, and images for your work. It even comes up with the perfect animations for your work. Just take a look at that. This is a great way to use AI to create your presentation with all the elements from start to finish. However, we must notice that this method is only great for those who are comfortable with using code. For those who are not familiar with code, they may want other options when it comes to using AI to bring their presentations to life. Let's get into it. The first thing that you need to do is to hop on ChatGPT. Once you log on, you can take the first step of your presentation by writing a prompt that asks ChatGPT to give you the content for your presentation. For example, we are going to ask ChatGPT to give us the content for a presentation about the future of AI and spread it across 5 slides. Seems simple enough, right? Based on this prompt, the AI will give you what you want. However, if you are looking for some more detail, you can go further by asking ChatGPT to give you the content for each point of your presentation. Without skipping a beat, the AI will augment its points based on the outlines that have been presented. Once you are satisfied with the content, you can push on by copying all of it. Do this before heading over to Word.new, the official Microsoft website that allows you to use their applications for free. Once you open Word, paste the content on a new document page so that you can edit your content to your satisfaction. Once you are done editing, go to File. Once there, click on Export so that you can export the file as a PowerPoint presentation. At this point, you can make use of the suggested templates for the PowerPoint presentation as well. Once you select the template of your choice, click on Export so that it can prepare your slides. Make sure that you pick a template that is suitable for your type of presentation. Once it is done with this, click on Open Presentation, and voila, you have your presentation open right in front of you. We must note that this will open the online version of Microsoft PowerPoint, and it is available to anyone that has a Microsoft email account. Looking at the presentation, you can actually see what picking the right template for your presentation can do for you. It will help you do things, pick out the right icons, and pick out the right dividers for your presentation. Pretty impressive, right? However, you may find that you may still want to do some work on this presentation. To do this, you will have to open your actual PowerPoint app. Once the downloaded version of PowerPoint is open in front of you, you can start making any alterations that you may need to make in the presentation. For starters, you may find that you may not like the font that was used for the presentation. Be it a conflict between the use of serif or sans serif fonts in your presentation, or be it the visibility of the font, there are ways to correct such a problem. To tackle this, the first thing that you'd need to do is open the Designer tab. This is due to the fact that this tab can also give you suggestions for layouts. Before you look at those, let's select the font of your choice. Once you have opened the Designer tab, the next thing that you'd need to do is to select the View tab. Once this is open, click on the Slide Master. After clicking on Slide Master, you can progress by clicking on the first slide. This allows you to go to Fonts. Once there, click on Customize Fonts. This allows you to pick the fonts for the different parts of the presentation. You can select a different font for the heading and a different font for the body. Once you have selected the fonts that you want, click on Save, then click on Slide Master. As you can see, the fonts of your choice have been applied to all the slides of the presentation. For those who may want to do some more editing on the cover page, for example, they can head to the Insert tab. Once there, you can click on the Stock Image tab. There, you can select any of the stock images that you find there. Once you find the image that you want, you can edit the image further by clicking on the Designer tab. It could be anything like selecting the font in the stock image to altering the transparency of the text. You can also change the text case if you want. You can do this by selecting the Smart Art, then click on the Formatting button next to the Font Size tab. If you feel like doing more with the slides, make sure that you use the Designer tab so that you can make use of the other options that you find there. For example, you can even alter the entire layout of the slides. Once you are on the Designer tab, you can see all the options that are available to you. That said, we must note that there are still limitations when it comes to the options here, so you may want to design your own layout at the end of the day. That way, you can have the most suitable slides, text, and images for your work. It even comes up with the perfect animations for your work. Hopefully, these two different methods will help you create the perfect presentation for all your needs.